Hi, welcome to Coda Bass. This is a lesson for beginners on picking, so it's using your picking hand, and we're going to cover doing that with our fingers first. So we're just going to show you what we actually do, and then we're just going to do a very brief technique that you can do, a little exercise where you can incorporate this technique and practice it. So I'm just going to play through this first for you. Fingerstyle players tend to use their index and the middle fingers and alternate them when they're playing. So if I just give you a quick example of that on the lowest string, the E string, and just you can see I'm just plucking with one then the other. What we want to get you fluent at is crossing the strings and coming up and down the strings while you're doing that, and I'm going to go around a couple of ways that we can mute the strings with this hand. The exercise I'm going to give you is it's not the most exciting exercise you're ever going to be given, but it will, if you stick at it, it will help you play. So it's worth taking the exercises into account that sometimes, you know, it's not a piece of music, it's an exercise, but it will help you then be able to play music afterwards. So it's worth playing through, and it'll only take a couple of minutes. If you're diligent at it, it will certainly help you playing a great deal. So it's worth taking that time out to begin with. Okay, so I'll show you what we're actually going to do, and I'll talk you through a couple of different techniques of muting the strings with this hand. So we're going to play 4 beats on each string. Now I'm going to repeat them on the top string and come back, so it's effectively going to be 8 bars of music if you were playing it to a metronome. As such, it's good to get into the habit of thinking of everything with a rhythm attached to it, and it just makes you playing a lot smoother. So I'll just show you it first. We're going to play the E 4 times, the A 4 times, the D 4 times, and the G 4 times. I'll then repeat all those and come back, but before I do, I'm going to break that down a little bit so you can see what's going on each one, and a couple of techniques to help you get through it. I'm playing the E, my thumb is here, just above the E string when I play it. Some people would sit their thumb on the pickup there. Whichever you're more comfortable with is absolutely fine. I don't, but you may want to. Okay, so here, there. When I play the A string, I immediately put my thumb onto the E string, which stops it ringing. You can hear straight away if I just play 1, and it's the best mute there is available, and it's dead simple because you're going to go down and play the next string. So you don't really even have to think about that. It's just going to naturally happen because of the string you're playing next. When you play the A string, you want to be using the rest stroke, which I've talked about briefly in other lessons and in some of the tunes when we've done them, but we'll just show you this now. If I turn this way, you can see that I pluck the A string and my finger comes to rest on the underside of the E string there. Hopefully you can see that. You don't want to be plucking out like this because you don't have the control over the instrument that you would like to have. It just becomes a bit flimsy as you're playing. So you want to be plucking back and against there. Hopefully you can see that nice and clearly. When I play the D string, what I do is I take these 2 fingers here and put them down on the E and A strings, and I play 4 there, and then I can come onto this one and play without dropping down because we're going to rest onto the G string, sorry, the D string after we've played the G quite clearly. Some players may come down again with those 2 fingers and move them from being on the E and the A strings onto the A and D strings. An alternative way of doing that, which I don't do myself but which is very good, is to keep coming down with your thumb. So I'll play 4 E's. When I go into the A, my thumb is sat on the A string. Now when I go to the D, my thumb's coming down and sitting on the A string, but it is also, if you can see at this angle here, stopping the E string ringing. It's flat. If I'm out like that, the E string will ring. So you have to make sure that you're coming down, you're sitting on the A string there, but you're also completely muting off the C string. And again, as with the finger thing, some players would not go up another string because using the rest stroke will kill this D string. So that's one way of doing it. Other players would go all the way onto the D string so that they're sitting on these three, and you can see there that those strings can't make any noise while I'm playing this top G string. So it's really two very good ways of muting the strings there. And now I'll just show you the exercise. I'll show you the exercise actually going up and down with the thumb, so you can see it, and you can take either of those two versions that you want to do when you're doing it. So here we've got one on the E, onto the A, D string, drop to the thumb, G string, put the thumb on the D string. You can repeat this one, mute it gently with this hand as you come back down. As you can see, I'm just muting very gently with the finger, my little finger of my fretting hand's just touching the strings but not pushing down.